Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego. I got lots of people waiting. We got people waiting, waiting and waiting and waiting. Well, I don't want to keep you waiting, so we're going live. We are going live 6 minutes early, so you get six extra minutes with Diego. Now, I made the title of this live stream, Don't Call the White House. Don't email the White House. It's a total waste of time. Okay? If you're getting frustrated and you're getting tired of waiting for your K1 visa to get approved, don't email the White House. Don't contact the White House. They don't. They're just going to assign an executive number to your email or to your letter, okay? And then they're going to send you a letter that says we don't have any control over your visa, and they're going to send it to to USCIS. So don't waste your time, okay? Now I'm Diego. I live in the Panhandle of Florida, near Pensacola, north of Navarre Beach, and I'm waiting for my welcome letter from the National Visa Center in New Hampshire, just like you guys. Or you could be waiting for your NOA 2 letter, or you may be trying to figure out whether you want to file a K1 visa or not. And Teja Sweeney Mumadi, hi Diego. Since my approval date is June 2nd, 2023, when can I get my welcome letter? When can I expect to receive my welcome letter? Well, let's go. Add 90 days to June 2nd. June to July, July, August, September. So around the first week of September, middle of September of 2023. All right, Teja Sweeney, you got this, all right? You just got to be patient. Jeff Mantok, hello Diego. Hey Jeff, what's going on? Jacob Myers, hey Diego. What's going on, Jacob? Liz B, hi Diego, and Karina, hello Liz B. Teja Sweeney, how long is Indian Embassy taking? Well, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, it all depends, okay? It depends. It depends on how busy they are, okay? You can't predict. You know, how busy is Walmart going to be on a Saturday on payday at 2 in the afternoon? It's going to be pretty busy, right? It's the same kind of thing. You don't know. But you're going to get your K1 visa if you qualify for the benefit, okay? Faith A, hello. Hey, Faith. Ashley Santana. Hey, Ashley. Jacob, Diego, I sent you a kind of a big question through Facebook. I didn't get it. Let me see, but I'll look at it later. James Wright, good evening, Diego and Karina. James, what's going on? Now, our NOA 1 letter, Karina and I, our NOA 1 letter, April 18th, 2022. Our NOA 2 letter is May 30th, 2023. So we're waiting and waiting for our welcome letter from the National Visa Center. It takes about 90 days, maybe 100 days. So figure somewhere in September. Oh, you hear that? You hear that thunder? This is a Florida thunderstorm ready to kick in, guys. So if I suddenly go blank, if I suddenly disappear, okay, it's not a magic trick. It's because the thunder or lightning took out the power grid here where I live. Abidali Keita, hi Diego and Karina. My question is, for example, if my case is at the embassy level, how can I know that I don't have a case number to open a SIAC account? I have nothing to track my case. Well, if you got a welcome letter, you should have got a case number, okay? You should have a case number, and you don't always need the invoice number to start your process. It depends on the embassy. I'm just, right here. I mean, this lady said right here. Now I'm not. Don't be rude. I'm just looking in my phone, okay? And she was saying here, you can fill out the DS-160 with your case number. Okay, then that way you can. It's good for 30 days. You can check your status on the SIAC visa status. You can make an account at ustraveldocs.com. ustraveldocs.com is where you need to go and schedule your appointment, your biometrics, and the interview. Okay, and you can do that with the case number with some embassies, according to this person. So, if you have a case number, go into the SIAC account, create your account, and start getting to work. Let me see here. James said, good evening, Diego and Karina. Abdella Kata. Hey, Diego and Karina, my question is, if you got to get your case number from your welcome letter, okay? Kaiser H. Hello, Diego. If by chance my beneficiary is asked at our K1 visa interview, why did we choose the K1 visa over the spousal visa? What is the best way to answer the question? Well, you're probably not going to get asked that question, but if you are asked that question, you can say that you would like to get married in the United States so that you can be with Kaiser H's family. Okay, you want to have a wedding. You want to start your life off in America with your sponsor by getting married in America. Sasha Lee. Hi, Diego. How long does it take to get approved in the mail after approval? 90 days, 100 days. I've seen 110 days. Jacob Myers, my senator's office told me that they aren't contacting NVC. They are contacting the embassy and will get back to me in a week. Okay, well, then that means that your senator contacted the NVC and the NVC said, I don't have it. I don't have your visa here. It's at the embassy. So the senator is now going to call the embassy, your senator's aide. And then the senator will be back briefed, okay? But don't call the White House. It's a total waste of time. It's a total waste of time. Jacob, eventually my visa still says it's at NVC with case number and invoice, even though my visa still says it's at the NVC. I don't believe what the NVC says hardly anymore. The NVC said the embassy in Bogota was closed because of COVID. That was a blatant lie. Jacob, I'm now at my 90 days. Well, you're right at the close there. You're at the finish line. Jacob, you're right there, man. You're very close. Kaiser H. Also, what other basic types of questions is expected at the K1 visa interview? What is your suggestions on this? Okay, here's some questions for the K1 visa interview. Karina, my beautiful prometida from Venezuela, living in Colombia, she can't speak English. So the immigration officer will ask her, how do you communicate with Diego? You don't speak English. How do you communicate? And Karina's going to say, well, he speaks Spanish. We communicate in Spanish. And I've got a translator on my phone, and I'm learning English. They could ask you, when was the last time, Mr. Beneficiary, Miss Beneficiary, did you see your sponsor? Karina's going to say, well, my sponsor's right here. Diego's right here. He's been with me for a couple of months finishing up this process. But he lived with me for 10 months in 2022, and he lived with me for 5 months in 2021. They could ask you questions, things basic. Basically, they want to make sure that your relationship is real. So they're going to be concerned with how long have you known each other, how many times have you met each other, and when was the last time you saw each other, and how do you communicate? That's it. And they're going to base that all around your DS-160 and your I-129F. Adesi Choco Wakira. We got approved in August 2023, this month. We send the petition K1 visa August 5th, 2022. Okay. Got approved August 7th this year. We got our approval notice today and waiting for the welcome letter from the NVC. Adesi, welcome to the club. Welcome to the NVC welcome letter. Well, hurry up and wait club. We're glad you made it this far. James Wright, is health insurance needed for the beneficiary ever an issue? James Wright, when you get your beneficiary to America, you make sure you get your beneficiary on your health insurance policy. Karina, when she gets to America, the first thing I'm going to do is put her on my health insurance. She doesn't need a social security number to do that. Okay. But I'm going to put her health insurance package in the adjustment of status. And right here, these are the documents that I'm taking to the embassy for Karina in Bogota. Let's see here. Bahu, Diego, your information is so confusing. Sometimes you say one thing, then again you say something else. By who? If you are confused about the information I put out on this channel, I apologize, but perhaps you need to be on a different channel where you understand where somebody's telling you. Okay, but it's a good feedback. I appreciate the feedback. But if you don't understand what I'm telling you guys, if you think that you can't figure it out, or if you're confused, number one, you got to tell me what it is you're confused about so I can unconfuse you. Okay? You say that I say one thing and again I say something else. By who? Be more specific. I'm here to help you. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. But I want to help you. Okay? You got to tell me what it is you're confused about. Abdehali Keita. But I don't have a case number. MVC, they didn't send me a case number. They transferred my file since July. That's why my case is ready. I can't know it. Gotcha, I understand. You got to contact the MVC and ask for a case number. Send them an inquiry. Include your receipt number from your NOA2 letter and say, what's my case number? You got to have your case number. Tina, hello, Diego. Hey, Tina. Jacob, we are supposed to wait to do the DS-160 when the MVC gives us ready status. MVC doesn't give you ready status. The embassy does. When the embassy's ready for you, they will tell you they're ready for you, and then you process your visa case. Okay, the MVC, that once they send it to the embassy, it's in transit, right? Once it gets in transit, you get the FT1 notification. When it gets to the embassy, you get the ready status. Then you got to email the embassy and say, okay, what do I do now? Because every embassy is different. Let's see. Well, yeah, let me see. I don't want to miss anybody. Georgie Gorgatzi. Apologize for totally destroying your name there, Georgie. Hello, Diego. I was in the Republic of Georgia and came back from vacation a week ago. Beautiful Republic of Georgia. I told my fiance about you, and we are so grateful to you. Well, I'm glad to help you guys. How long is it to wait for NOA 1, August 18th, 2022? Well, you should be hearing from the USCIS this month. This month. Next month at the latest, okay? USCIS is doing pretty good. They're moving pretty quick. If you consider a year pretty quick, but it's quick for what it used to be. And why do you say that? Bahu. Diego has been very helpful, and the thing is different. No case is the same. Every visa is different. My visa is different from Bahu's. Liz B. Diego. Our NOA 1 was August 17th, 2022. Okay, and we got our NOA 2 on August 10th. Thanks for all your info because it made that wait more bearable. There you go. Hang out with us here on your channel. This is your YouTube channel. If you get confused by the information, okay, then that's on you. Tell me what you're confused about, and I'll unconfuse you. Okay. Let's see. So Jacob is saying, I don't understand how my visa is at the MVC, but not the MVC. They send it to the embassy. Okay, Jacob, the MVC is telling you they send it to the embassy. Wait for the ready status. Okay, email the embassy. Send an email to the embassy and ask them, do you have my visa package? If they say no, then it's at the MVC, and the MVC was telling you a story. Okay? If the embassy says we have your package, your visa package, include your passport number, your beneficiary's passport number, the receipt number from the NOA2 letter, the case number, your beneficiary's date of birth and his name, etc. Brian and Jacqueline, hi Diego and Karina, happy Saturday. Today's Saturday already. Good gracious, you're right. I lost track of time. Tomorrow I'm going to go see my brother. He lives about an hour away. Ashley Santana. So many people are saying they are not receiving a case number. Worries me. Well, here's the thing, Ashley. If you get in that position, you got to contact the MVC. through an inquiry and say, where's my case number? But it's not a very common occurrence. we filed July 21, 2022 and still waiting on NOA 2. Yep. No worries. You'll get it. James Wright, my congressman contacted the MVC. MVC responded, received my petition July 26th. Okay. So now you got to wait for the welcome letter or the NOA 2 letter, probably. Drake Life, hi Diego, hope you're well. I have my invoice and case number, but no welcome letter. Well, if you have your invoice number and your case number, you can get to work on getting your visa scheduled, pay the visa fee, fill out the DS-160, get the ball rolling, okay, on your visa package. Congratulations on fixing your AC. Yeah, look, I'm not sweating to death, am I? It's like, 70 degrees in here. Got my AC fixed. Cost me a bunch of money, but that's okay. I needed to get it done. And the capacitor was busted too. So they replaced the capacitor. It's so hot in Florida. I mean, I just must have wore it out. Benny Yao, hi Diego. I just got my RFE letter. I made a silly mistake by omitting to answer 4A Part 3. I missed to check if I'd ever been arrested. Of course, it's no. So I answered no and sent it back. Benny Yao, you're going to get your K1 visa approved in the next 2 to 3 weeks. But you made a little silly mistake. You got to pay attention to details, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, before you send your I-129F to the lockbox in Dallas. Please make sure you go over that form like a fine-tooth comb. Check it 10, 12 times before you mail it. Benny Yao, you're good to go. High five to you. Boom. Now you just slowed down your case by about 2 or 3 weeks, right? You slowed it down a little bit, but now you're going to get it approved. Okay? And I hope you had a fun vacation at the Ivory Coast with your beautiful future bride. Jacob Myers. So since my senator's office is already contacting the embassy, that means when I check MVC tracking, it says at the MVC that is wrong. Okay, Jacob. Now you're going to have to wait for your ready status. Just wait. Twan Benson, hi from hot Miami, Diego. Hi. Well, it's hot everywhere. All around the world, it's hot. I don't think it will pay, maybe not in Bogota, Colombia, where it's cold and raining most of the time, up in the mountains. Sharon Persekian, hi, Diego. Hey, Sharon. How are you? How is Sharon? And how's Twan? Jacob, I wish I allowed more characters when asking questions because my questions get broken up. Well, just ask me the questions and then keep adding to it till you get the question out there. I'll answer your question. Kaiser H. Diego, as you mentioned, that I have to show proof of communication between myself and my beneficiary, so then I have to send my WhatsApp chats and phone call logs when I send my form I-134 to my beneficiary. You are correct. Now, right here is the package of stuff that I'm going to give to Karina, all right, for her K1 visa interview. And right here in the back are some of our WhatsApp chats. Okay? And they're all in here. Right here. It's easy. You just print them off. Print off about 30 of them from the period of about 6 months. Or a year. Go back a year if you can. But sometimes WhatsApp doesn't let you go back that far. Twan Benson, got my NOA 2 today. High five. It only takes from August 4th approved. Notice the NOA 2. 8 days. So you got your NOA 2 letter in 8 days from your UAS telling you they approved it. That's pretty good. Mohammed Al-Saraji. Mohammed, hi Diego, I'm waiting for my NOA 2. If I change my address, do I need to send proof of address? Yes. Mohammed, if you are the sponsor, you are the American citizen sponsor, sponsoring your beneficiary to come live in America, and you move, you got to tell immigration where you move to. Otherwise, you might get letters sent to your old address, you don't get it, and then your visa gets denied because you didn't respond to immigration questions. You got to tell them where you're at. Yeah, if your beneficiary, if she moves, don't worry about it. You can update that on the DS-160. BBL Survival. How do I know USCIS send my case to MVC? I didn't get any update since my case got approved K1. Well, you should have got a communication, an email. The MVC will send you an email telling you what they did. BBL Survival. That's how you know. Drake Live, no problem. Thanks to Jacob. I sent an email inquiry to the embassy. My beneficiary is waiting for the ready status. There you go. Get in touch with the embassy. Georgie, when I was in Tbilisi, I made a toast and wished you and Karina all the best. Well, thanks, man. Thank you. With champagne. Oh, fantastic. Like I promised you before. So we got a salutation from Georgie and his prometida in the Republic of Georgia. Okay. What an honor is that? That's a fantastic honor. Okay. Thank you for that. Like you did promise, yes. What is the earliest time that you have heard someone get an MVC welcome letter? 65 days is the earliest I've heard, okay? And I'm already past 70 days for Karina and I. So we got about another 20, 30 days to go. Do you ever get cool weather in Florida? Yes. End of October, November, December, January gets cool. February pretty much sucks. It's cold and weather is horrible. Woo! February in Florida, well, in the Panhandle anyway, not so much in South Florida. South Florida is warm all the time. South Florida is always warm. Miami, anywhere, Tampa south of Florida, Tampa south is always warm. North of Tampa, we have cold winters here. Let's see, Sharon. I'm good, waiting it out. Like you say, wait it out, Sharon. You got it. We're waiting with you, okay? Jacob. So if my visa was sent to the embassy and waiting, I should have already gotten a welcome in transit. But I got nothing. Send them an email. Email the embassy. Email them. Ask them, where is my visa? Fabienne Clermont. Hey, Mr. Diego. Fabienne, hello. Zoila Molina. Saludos, Diego, a ti y Karina. And Karina, to me and Karina. Best wishes to me and to Karina. Thank you, Zoila. I'm translating for everybody. H. Karam. Hi, Diego. I filed for K1 visa. My fiance is from Nepal. Beautiful Nepal. Nepal is a landlocked country. It's up in the mountains, okay? Beautiful country. And the embassy, the consulate in Nepal is processing K1 visas, by the way. USCIS has sent me a letter that the case was received 4/28/2023. I just want to know what to do after it gets approved. USCIS sent you a NOA2 letter, I'm assuming. H. Karam, if you're in Nepal, you got an NOA2 letter, all you're doing now is waiting for your welcome letter. You're waiting for communications from the MVC. It takes about 90 days, if I'm understanding your question correctly. FHG's vlog. What is happening to Lagos, Nigeria? No appointment dates. Well, I'm tracking the embassy in Nigeria pretty closely, and people are getting their K1 visas sent to Nigeria, but they're having a tough time, getting a visa interview. So I don't know what's going on. They're busy. They don't have enough staff, perhaps. So I need to maybe investigate Nigeria a little closer for you guys. CBY05. Hi, Diego. If your fiance, she's not your girlfriend, she's your fiance. If your fiance enters Mexico illegally, we were able to start our K1 visa. No. If your girlfriend, your fiance, enters Mexico illegally, okay, she will not qualify for a K1 visa from Mexico. You have to be a legal resident, okay? Karina is from Venezuela. She entered Colombia legally. She got legal residency. She got a Colombian residency card, okay? Karina has to show the immigration officer at the embassy in Bogota that she entered Colombia legally. In her passport are the tourist stamps. Okay, she has a Colombian cedula. She went to Colombian immigration, Migración de Colombia. She applied for asylum. She got permission to live in Colombia. The Colombian government gave her what's known as, I guess you call it, a green card. You can't be in a country illegally and apply for a K-1 visa. Immigration want to see legal status. Okay? So don't do that, my friend. CBY05, you tell your fiance, do not enter Mexico illegally. Not to do that. It's a bad thing. It will cause a problem for you and your visa processing. I would much rather you need to contact the Mexican government and ask the Mexican government, how can she enter the country legally and become a resident? So when you complete the I-129F, you can include a copy of her Mexican cedula. Or, like I've been trying to tell you, go to Colombia and get a Colombian residency status. It's much easier to get Colombia than Mexico. Sheena Anderson. Hi, Diego. Hey, Sheena. Sheena and Christian said hello. Now, Sheena, now if I remember, you're in Maryland, and your fiance Christian is in Dubai, beautiful Dubai, and beautiful Maryland. Biniao, my friend Biniao. Diego, do you know MVC has a processing time? Right now, about 3 months. Has it improved? No. It's 90 to 100 and 110 days. Ashley Santana, 60 days for us today at MVC. Boom. Good job, Ashley. Jacob, okay, so since I have the case number and invoice, I don't need to deal with MVC anymore. I can forget the headache. That's right. You can forget about it. MVC's done. You need to start processing your K-1 visa. Schedule the visa interview. Pay the visa fee. Get the DS-160 filled out. Print the confirmation page for the DS-160. Get the MERV receipt for when you pay for the visa. You need to get that. Let's see. Abdus Abubekar. Now, you said, Momita Rahman, my spouse, I love you. Well, that's very, very nice of you to say that to your beneficiary in this global YouTube channel that belongs to you guys. This is your channel, and there's people all around the world watching you right now. All around the world. In lots of different countries. And all around America. Hi, H. Karam. They sent a I-797C. Okay, that's your NOA-1 letter. The 797C, now you got to include that in your package for the embassy interview. Okay. And the I-797 is the NOA-2 letter. And the I-797C is the NOA-1 letter. And they're right here, ready for Karina. I'm going to bring these to her personally on an airplane. What is the best method to request a tax transcript and update with the IRS? Call this number. Do you have a pen with you? Make sure you have a pen. Everybody, if you make sure you got pens on the live stream so I can give you information and you can write down the information. So here's the phone number to the IRS, okay, if you need to get a tax transcript. Let me see if I'll find it for you. And then I go into contacts, punch in IRS. You call 1-800-829-1040. 1040. 800-829-1040. That's the IRS. Now, I don't want to miss anybody here. Let me see the streams. Okay. Mohammed, do I have to send a lease agreement or proof of change of address or not? Are you the sponsor or the beneficiary? If you are the sponsor and you move, you got to tell immigration where you're at. If you are the beneficiary, you don't have to worry about it. Nelson Gooden, update for all MVC notified visa sent to consulate in Rio de Janeiro. Rio de Janeiro is in Brazil. on July 18th. Got an email from the consulate on August 8th with instructions on what to do. There you go. As Diego says, be patient. You're going to get instructions on what to do. Every embassy's got their own way of doing things. Let's see here. James Wright, does financial support weekly remittance account as ongoing relationship? Yes. Does it count as ongoing relationship? Absolutely. And let me see. I don't have it here, but I got all the Western Union receipts. I send Karina some money every month. She doesn't need the money, but I send it to her as as extra cash, so she can go get her nails done, whatever she wants to do. And I keep all the Western Union receipts. That's evidence of financial support and continuing relationship. And we chat daily too. James Wright, you better be chatting. That's a good. See right here, you want to print some of those chats, like right here. Let me see, I'll show you. Now right here, I got the chat log right here, and I got printouts right here in this folder, and I want to give this to Karina to give to the embassy officer in Bogota, Colombia. Mr. Rody 14, glad tidings, Diego. Would you be so kind as to do more thorough research than I can do? I need to know how strict Malaysia would be with their 90-day rule for U.S. citizens. What do you mean? How do you mean their 90-day rule for U.S. citizens, Mr. Rody 14? And I don't understand your question. How strict is Malaysia would be with their 90-day rule? What is? I don't understand your question. If I go to Indonesia, how long is my visa good for? 90 days? Is that what you're asking me? In Colombia, if I go to Colombia, I can only stay for 90 days. Then I got to leave the country, or I can write a very nice, sweet letter to immigration and ask them to extend my visa another 90 days for a maximum of 180 days for me in Colombia. That's why I'm still in Florida. Right now, I would be in Colombia with Karina doing this live stream from Bogota. But I'm under the restrictions of the Colombian government, and I'm only allowed to be in Colombia for a maximum of 180 days per year. So I'm stashing that 180 days. I'm holding on to it in my back pocket right now. So when I get the welcome letter from the NVC, then I can start calculating when I can get her visa interview scheduled. And then when I get her visa interview scheduled, then I can catch a plane to Bogota, and I know how much time I've got to play with on my 180 days. So I don't really understand your question, Mr. Rody 14. How strict is Malaysia with the 90-day rule for U.S. citizens? I'm thinking you're talking about I think you're asking me about the visa requirements, right, for Indonesia. For what I know about Colombia, I just explained it. But for Indonesia, I'm sure they're going to be the same. Well, who knows? Brazil just changed their immigration rules on Americans. I wanted to go to Brazil for a vacation, but I'm not going to play that immigration visa game with the Brazilian government. Sheena, yes, Diego, Christian has a Dubai residence. That costs $2,200 for a renewal. Woo, that's a lot of money. Mr. Nahas, hi Diego, what's up, Mr. Nahas? Now, Mr. Nahas, I think if I remember, you are from Iraq originally, from the beautiful Iraq. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think so. Jacob, my beneficiary won't fill out the DS-160 because we haven't gotten ready status. Good idea. I told him to fill it out, but he said we have to wait for the ready status to be sent to us. Wait for the ready status. The DS-160 is only good for 30 days, okay? But if you've got the case number and if you've got the invoice number, etc., email the embassy and find out where your visa is. You got to find out where your visa package is. Is it at the NVC or is it at the embassy? Once you know where your visa is, then I can help you better. Sheena, Diego, July 27th made 90 days for NOA2. I received my NOA-2 on April 27th. Okay, so you're right there at the very end of this process. You're very close to getting your welcome letter from the National Visa Center. Tina, hi Diego. A few live streams back, I asked you regarding an explanation letter to the immigration stating why I'm short on my recent pay stub. My question is, what should be the subject of the letter? So you're talking about you're going to write a letter to your beneficiary to bring to the embassy interview, right? Is that what I'm trying to understand here? To the immigrant, why am I short on my recent pay stub? And you need to explain why you were short. Weren't you sick or something? Something you weren't able to work. What should be the subject of the letter? The subject of the letter should be financial support for beneficiary. Tina, financial support subject, financial support for beneficiary. Andrew Bryan, hi Diego, watching from Jamaica. Okay, my interview will be next 2 weeks from now. I'm so excited. Woohoo! How about that? 2 more weeks, you have your face-to-face. You always keep me firm throughout the process. Keep up the good work. Andrew, I'm gonna get you right across help you get across the finish line. Okay? CBY05, my fiance needs to have her passport for at least 6 months to apply for a Mexican visa. Okay? So I understand. The only reason I wanted to go to Mexico legally is because my father has a house where she can stay. That's good. She'll have a place to stay for free. Because in Bogota, Colombia, she'll have to pay rent. I pay rent. But it's no big deal. Karina and I are close to the end. Okay? Probably in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we'll have our welcome letter. And probably by November, I'll have her visa interview scheduled in Bogota. So I only have to pay rent on our apartment, probably September, October, November, December, probably 4 months. So, but I understand your position. You just got to wait for her passport, man. Jacob Myers, I wish they would just give me the dang ready status instead of me having to wait for the MVC tracking to change. It's stuff for my case. Yeah, I understand your position, Jacob. It's not fun. It's not easy process. It's not an easy process. It's not. But I'm going to help you guys. Grimaldo Eric. Hi, I'm Eric, and my case was sent on September 6, 2022. Do you think I'm close to NOA-2? Yeah, Grimaldo. September, early October, you're going to hear from immigration. Okay? Assuming you didn't mess up, when you submitted your K-1 visa package, it was perfect, right? You didn't make any errors. No mistakes. Very soon. Next month, early October. Paya, India. Diego, please tell my husband, Raj, I love him, and not to worry, and soon we will receive our NOA-2. I am waiting for him. We filed July 2022, but no NOA-2 yet, and I miss him. Well, we're going to help you, Paya, India, okay? Now, I will tell your husband from you that you love him. You can tell him right here, okay? We all rooting for you. Okay, and your NOA-2, your NOA-1 was July 2022. So you should receive your NOA, your second letter this month at the latest. Okay, this month. By August, once August is gone, you'll have it. Faith A. I got the welcome letter, but no invoice number included, and the status is read and complete DS-160. So in this case, should I send the email, the embassy, or USCIS? Now you're working with the embassy now. Now this lady was saying, I try to keep up on any differences and changes and things like that to help you guys. And this lady here said you can fill out the DS-160 when you get the ready status. Let me see what else she says here. This lady here from the Philippines is saying, if you are a K-1, there's no such thing as an invoice ID. Well, there is. That's not correct. But in her particular case is what she's saying. Okay? What she's saying is when filing the DS-160, the SEAC website only asks for the receipt number. So what she's saying is, if you don't have an invoice number, in her particular case, she used her receipt number from her NOA2 letter. So maybe that'll work if you don't have an invoice number. I don't know. It depends on the embassy. This is what she's saying. So it's just information. You could try it. Guys, you can try that if you want. Use your receipt number as the invoice number. See what happens. It might just say no, won't accept it, but it might work. So try to Faith A. This lady's saying she used her receipt number and she got it processed without an invoice number. But you're going to be focusing on the embassy now. Tina, also since the beginning of this year, as I was looking through my pay stubs online, there were 3 months I was short on my income. I was sick and I had not enough time off, paid time off. Should I explain why? No. You don't. No, it's immigration. You don't have to explain that. All immigration is going to do is they're going to look at your bottom line. How much did you make for the year in 2022, I'm assuming, right? How much money did you make? That's all they care about for the whole year. All right. That can be on your tax return. But if your income is sufficient for 2023, you need to explain that. Use pay stubs, bank statements, and things like that. But you don't have to go into too much detail. Immigration, they're so bogged down with paperwork. All they're looking at are numbers and time, pictures, relationship status. That's all they're really looking at. Is your relationship real? How much money does your sponsor make? How much time have you been together? And can you prove it? That's what they're looking at. So Tina, just try to relax on that issue, okay? Just explain, this is how much money I made in 2022. And if you feel uncomfortable, really, if you don't feel like you qualify on the income, get a joint sponsor, okay? Kaiser, Diego, you mentioned that if I have been sending money to my beneficiary via Western Union, then I'm supposed to send the original receipts of the transactions to my beneficiary. All the copies will be okay. Copies. I went to Office Depot today to make copies of Karina's Western Union receipts, and the copy machine, I was trying to scan it and it wouldn't function properly. So I'm just going to go to the library, not tomorrow, tomorrow's Sunday, but on Monday I'll run over to the library and I'm going to make photocopies of the original Western Union receipts. Don't send the originals. Send her copies. Ben, can't pay for visa interview or pay any fees. At what point do they send the invoice number? I already emailed them, but their response is irrelevant. Try and use your receipt number as an invoice number. It's at the last stage. It's at the embassy. I already filled out the DS-160. See if you can use your receipt number as an invoice number. This is what this lady in the Philippines said that she did. I don't know which country you're in. I can't remember, Ben. I'm sorry. But see if that'll work. You know, I just try to keep you guys updated with new information as I get it. I get new information, I give it to you guys. So, Mr. Ben, go ahead and try to complete the transaction with the receipt number, okay? And the receipt number, you know what that is, right? From your NOA1 letter. The receipt number from your NOA1, NOA2 letter. Ben, also, do they look at annual gross income? They look at Section 9 of your income tax. Whatever is the total that you made, the gross. They don't take into account money that's been subtracted. They want to see how much money did you make. Okay. Now, if you are filing taxes where you own your own business and you have all these deductions, and your income went from zero to, if you totally decimated your income by filing all of these, deductions, that's not good. If you made $100,000, okay, and you got $80,000 in deductions, then your gross income is going to show 20 grand. Okay, that may not qualify for the visa, right? So you got to look at the gross income for the whole year, all right, not the net. Mr. Nahas, I am right. You are from Iraq, beautiful Iraq. I wish I could go there for a vacation. I really wish I could. Tina, yes. Ben, also, do they look at annual gross? Ben, they're going to look at, like I explained, they're going to look at number 9. Let me see here. Let me look at my tax return. Okay, now this right here, these are the documents I'm going to give to Karina for her visa interview. Okay. For the NOA 2, NOA 1, divorce decree, passport photos, police certificates. Let's see, second letters of intent to get married, chat logs, DS-160, welcome letter from the NVC, printed copy of the visa appointment, birth certificates, etc. All that goes in here. Now, this is the financial stuff, the tax return, the I-134, my letter of proof of income, my military retirement proof of income, pay stubs, proof of employment with the realty company, my real estate license, bank statements for 2023. Every time I get a bank statement, okay, let me see if I can find them. I put them in here. Bank statements go here. So I'll get a bank statement in about another 2 weeks. As soon as I get it in the mail, I'm going to put it right here. Now, income on my tax return, they're going to look at line number 9 on your 1040. Line number 9, your total income. All right. And then right here, these are my 2020 income tax returns, 2020 and 2021 income tax returns and transcripts, and W-2s and 1099s. Okay. So these are 2 years worth. And then in here, this is my last tax return for 2022. So when Karina goes to her visa interview, she's going to hand them this package. Okay. If they ask her, well, where is your sponsor's 2020 and 2021 tax returns, then she'll hand over this. But if they don't ask her for it, it stays in her bag, and she won't take it out. Okay, Jacob, I'll contact you in Facebook when the Senate office gets back to me. Sounds good. My process doesn't seem to be following the normal process with no letters and stuff. It doesn't seem right. Yeah. Francois Livingston. Hello, Diego and Karina. Francois, hello. Now, Francois, aren't you in Maine? If I remember, you're in Maine, right? If I'm wrong, correct me. M. Jackson 60. My fiance has her exam and interview for September 14th and 21st. Okay. Much of the advice you gave us saved us so much time in preparing. I'm glad you were able to learn something from the channel. So they hand out the visa post-interview at the Philippines. Okay, in the Philippines, it takes about 3 or 4 days, and then they'll have a place where you go pick it up. Okay, it's a couple of days. They got to process the visa. Okay, you got to turn in the passport, and then they got to process the visa, and they have to do it in such a way that it's a security issue. So it takes a couple of days to get it done. Mohammed, sorry for asking again, but I'm the petitioner, and I was asking if I changed the address. So you're the petitioner, and if I change the address, do I just have to inform USCIS or send documents of proofs? No, you don't have to. If you move as a petitioner, you don't have to prove that you moved. Immigration don't care. What they care about is, where do you live now? So if you lived over here and then you moved to over here, you got to tell them, immigration, your new address. Where do you live? Not that you don't have to prove that you moved there. Okay. They just want to know that you moved so they can send you letters and information. They want to be able to contact you. You know, I've seen so many people move. Okay. They don't tell USCIS that they moved, and they get an RFE, and the RFE goes to the old address. They don't get it. They don't respond to it. And the visa gets denied. It gets null and voided. You got to tell immigration where you're at. so they can contact you. You don't have to prove anything to immigration in regards that you moved. Just tell them where you're at. Okay, Muhammad, you got that. M. Jackson, our filing was April 29th, 2022. Okay. Chopper Harley, my future wife has embassy interview in 3 weeks. Now, your fiance is in Cambodia. It moves fast in Cambodia. It moves fast in Colombia. It's moving fast in the Philippines. It's not moving so fast in Nigeria, unfortunately. Lou, waiting 4 months for my case number. I called USCIS, and USCIS said that 4 days ago MVC received my case, but a month ago I called and they told me the same thing. I don't know what to do. Send another inquiry. Send another inquiry to the MVC. Jacob, MJ Jackson must be nice. Manila is playing around with my visa package. Ooh. Yeah, you're having a hard time, Jacob. Tina, okay, I thought I had to explain why I'm short for the 3 months. You can explain it if you want to, Tina. You can explain it. If you want, if it makes you feel better and you feel better that you explain it, immigration will read it. You can explain it. Jacob Myers, I hope the Senate office rips into those clowns. We don't want to. Remember, immigration's doing the best job they can possibly do. Remember, they're doing the very best that they can do with what they got. Okay? They're trying their best. Susie Gaudames. Hello, Diego. Hi, Susie. What's going on with Susie? Ben, I'm in California. She is in Japan. Okay. Now, there's 2 places, Ben, that you can get the visa interview for a K1 in Japan. There are 2 places. All right. So make sure you know which embassy she's going to, which consulate. Tina, thanks, Diego. So would I have to just explain why I'm short for the recent check? Sure, just explain that. That's all you need to say. Then you're good. Jacob, I don't think it's good for me to read these comments when I see other Philippines approved. I understand, Jacob, but you got people working on it for you, right? Ben, for a joint sponsor, does the other joint sponsor have to fill out an I-134 or a different form? No, exact same form, Ben. If you have a joint sponsor, you, Ben, are going to fill out as a sponsor, you are going to fill out the I-134. And it's the edition that's being used right now is July 31, 2023. Let me see here. I went ahead and filled out Karina's I-134. I went ahead and filled it out because the form obviously is not going to change. Not yet. And it's edition July 31, 2023, edition January 4th, 2023. So I went ahead and just filled it out. And then if it changes between now when I go to Colombia, then I'll just redo it. But you got to fill out an I-134 for the sponsor, and the joint sponsor also has to fill out an I-134. The joint sponsor also must provide W-2s, 1099s, tax transcripts, and 1040s. A letter from the employer, bank statements if possible, and pay stubs. At least 6 months worth of pay stubs, 12 months worth of bank statements, if possible, from the joint sponsor. But definitely need the I-134 and the tax transcripts, tax returns, etc. Here's a file for you, Mr. Sponsor. Here's a financial file for your joint sponsor. You're going to have 2 files, joint sponsor, sponsor, okay? And the financial documents will be included. That's not a different form. It's the exact same form. Ashley, does the sponsor need a police certificate? No. The FBI does a check on the sponsor, like the FBI will check me out at the MVC. When the National Visa Center get my K1 visa package from USCIS, they'll do the FBI check on me, the sponsor. So you don't need a police certificate from the United States. Francois, New York State. That's right, Francois, New York State. My apologies. Annalisa Steiner from the Philippines. Which part of the Philippines? It's a big place. Beautiful. It's a beautiful country. I love the Philippines. My friend lives in, I can't pronounce the city very well. Debu, God, how do you pronounce that? But he lives in the Philippines. He loves it there. with his wife. Ashley Santana, are you not going with Karina to the interview? Yeah, I'm going, sure. Because you say she is the one going to be providing your information at the interview. That's correct. It's not my K1 visa interview, it's Karina's. Karina's going to be having all this. This will be in her hand, not my hand. It's her interview. She's the one that's going for the interview, not me. So she will have this in her hand, and she will hand it to the immigration officer and say, here you go, Merry Christmas. Okay? But I will be standing there with Karina. I'm going to be standing there right next to her, watching as it goes down. High noon at the embassy in Bogota. Boom, boom, boom. I'll be right with her. But she's going to be doing all the talking, and she's going to be handing over all the documents, not me. Let's see. Ooh, lots of questions, guys. So, Ashley, I'm going to be with Karina, yes. In Bogota, yes. We're just waiting on this welcome letter from the National Visa Center so I can get working on scheduling our visa interview. That's all I'm waiting on. That's why I'm here. I got the computer. I got the printer. I got all the equipment I need right here to get it done quick. Let's see. Zoila Molina. Hi, Diego. Next week will be 90 days. Well, you're about close to the finish line, Zoila. Now that you should get it something this week. Actually, today's Saturday. Next week, you should be hearing. Okay? Not much longer. Sharon, how soon does the embassy in Turkey hand out the visa? It takes about 4 to 7 days. 4 to 7 days. CBY05, Diego, what is the income requirement for me and my fiance? It's only the two of us. If you're at $25,000 a year plus, you're good. I would say be at $25,000 a year. Let's see here. Let me take a look. So I don't give you some bad information, but I'm pretty sure if you to be at 125% of the poverty guideline for a family of two, you've got to be $24,650. Okay. At 100%, you got to be at $19,720. So if you're at 26 grand plus, you're good. Okay. If you're between 19 and 23,000, you need to be getting a joint sponsor. But you need to be above $25,000 a year. Let's see. Francois Livingston. I have two live cases going, Diego. The old petition and the new petition. What? 3 weeks ago, I sent the withdrawal letter, and as you say, still waiting and waiting and waiting. As long as you sent the withdrawal letter and signed it and dated it and immigration received it, you're fine. Lanny A. Any updates for interviews in Turkey for citizen with foreign state of chargeability? I'm not sure, Lanny A. I can't answer the question at this time. But the embassy in Turkey are giving K1 visa interviews. Francois, maybe I missed it because I haven't been on much. But is the processing time moving better lately? MVC, no. MVC's 3 months. But the embassy, yes. USCIS, yes. USCIS are moving pretty quick. If a year is pretty quick, it's better than a year and a half, right? 2 years. A year is pretty good. And then the holdup is at the National Visa Center. Michael McCoy, don't understand why it is taking so long for my Venezuelan girlfriend to get approved, even though we provided all the documents. Well, I got a beautiful prometida from Venezuela, and I'm on my second K1 visa, and I got approved in 13 months. What's your NOA1 letter? When's your, give us more information. Tina, my fiance filled out the DS-160 back in May, but since we had to move his interview to another date because of his sputum test, will he have to fill out a new DS-160? Yes, Tina, a new DS-160 is required now. Ashley, can you talk about the embassy process once approved? Sure. Okay. So I'll schedule the visa interview for Karina at the U.S. Embassy in Bogota. Okay, she'll fill out the DS-160. I'll help her with it because it's in English and she won't understand it. So I'll help her with it. We'll print the DS-160 confirmation page. I'll pay for the visa fee, get the receipt. She may just end up paying for the visa fee at the bank in Bogota. I believe that's how it works with Colombia. You just pay it in a bank. Then we'll get all the documents together right here. These are all the documents that Karina is going to take to the visa interview. Okay. And she'll bring all the documents, and then the embassy officer will go through the security check at the embassy, walking through the security, check in, make sure, I don't work for, some malfeasant communist government. I'm just kidding. They're going to check security. They're going to look in her cartera, in the maleta. They're going to look in the backpack, whatever. Don't bring a backpack. They're going to look in your purse, in your wallet. They're going to pat you down. You go through security, okay? You're going to go and then you're going to wind your way up, and then your name's going to be on a list at the embassy checkpoint. When you get to into the U.S. Embassy gate where security is, there's going to be a big piece of paper on their desk, and they're going to look for your name. Because when you fill out the DS-160 and pay the visa fee, primarily when you fill out the DS-160, your name's going to be put on an entry list, permission to enter the embassy list. They're going to look for your name. Show your passport. They'll match it to your name. You go in. There's the embassy officer waiting for you, or you may have to wait for a couple of hours. It depends. You may have a 1 hour wait, 2 hour wait, 3 hour wait, and you just wait and wait and wait, and then your name gets called, and you go to the embassy interview, go to the window, and the lady's going to be looking at a computer, and that's your DS-160. Okay, she's looking at your DS-160, or he or she, whoever. They're going to ask you, where's your divorce decrees? Give me your tax returns. Give me your I-134. Give me your photos. They're going to ask you for the documents. They're going to review the documents. They'll ask you 4 or 5 questions, and that's it. They'll take your passport and say, have a nice day. And then you pick up your passport at the pickup point that you filled out when you created your SEAC account. It's basic. It's easy. So Karina, in her manual, right here, is all the paperwork. Okay? We got pictures. Let me see. Pictures of us together right here. That's the very first picture we ever took of each other, was at the airport in Bogota. So, and she will give all this stuff to the immigration officer, and then her visa will get approved, and she'll give her she'll turn in her passport, and then she'll get an email. A couple of days later, your visa is ready. Go pick up your passport. We'll go to the pickup point in whichever place that we pick. She'll pick up the passport. She has it in her hand. And then, okay, we can leave Colombia. Boom. Hasta luego. Ciao. Mohammed, thank you. No problem. CBY05, God bless you and Karina and everyone with their visa process. We got your back covered, my friend. But you got to listen to me. Don't be bringing your fiance to Mexico illegally. Don't do that. Ben, my income is good, but by my income after deductions screwed me up. That's why I need a joint sponsor. It happens sometimes. So people, there are 1099s like me. Yeah, it happens. Be careful. Pay attention to your gross income after deductions. Yeah, you could make $200,000 and then have $190,000 in deductions. So you didn't lose any money, right? You're not out anything. You just claim the deductions, but it shows up on line 9 as a massive hit on your income. And immigration look at line 9. It's the way it goes with immigration, I'm afraid. So you get a joint sponsor if you don't make if your line 9 on your 1040 doesn't meet the minimum for federal income, get a joint sponsor. CBY05, 25,000, gotcha. More. Be at 26,000, 27,000 minimum. Okay, that's for a family of 2. Augusta Tempuri. Hi, Diego. Please, do I need any other documents with me at the port of entry aside the documents in the sealed envelope? Well, you just need your passport. That's it. Your passport. Nothing else. Whatever's in that sealed envelope is everything. Plus your passport in your hand. And you're good to go. If you know, it's very easy. Don't try not to overthink this, guys. Kaiser, Diego, do you know if that I, as a U.S. petitioner, would be allowed to attend the K1 visa interview in Mumbai? I don't know about Mumbai. I can in Colombia. I, as a sponsor, can accompany Karina to the embassy interview in Bogota. Mumbai, I can't remember. Right this moment, I can't remember. Tuan Benson, hi Diego, what other forms we need to fill out besides I-485? So you're talking about the adjustment of status, okay? When you do the adjustment of status, you fill out I-485. That's the adjustment of status. Then that's where you put your family size and you do all the security checks and all that. Then you got to fill out form I-484. That's the affidavit of support. That's to say that you promise, you're signing a contract with the government that you promise to take care of your beneficiary, okay, until she can support herself, or until she gets U.S. citizenship, or she receives 10 years worth of work credits with the Social Security Administration. Then you got to fill out the form I-693, which is the medical exam and your vaccination paperwork, okay? Those are the three critical forms you got to include: 485, 484, and the medical exam and the vaccinations, okay? Then you got to include all the evidence that you guys are married, that you went on a honeymoon somewhere, etc., etc., etc. She's on the electric bill, she's on the water bill, she's on you put her on the house lease or the rent or the mortgage or whatever. You got to put her name with your name to prove you guys live together, okay? And you're in a relationship. Remember, U.S. immigration have a right to come to your house and knock on the door and say, hey, I want to see Mrs. Beneficiary, please. They can do that. They can go knock on the neighbors next door. Immigration can go knock right here next door. Ask my Marine Corps buddy, hey, did Diego get married to a Venezuelan? Do they live together? They can do that. Make sure you got a strong adjustment of status paperwork. Let me see. Tina, I told my fiance about it, but he said no need to fill out a new one. There's no expiration. I wanted to clarify. He's right on the Declaration of Financial Support. Tina, someone told me no need as long as nothing has changed. That's correct. Francois, Diego, would you mind one more time? The titles of the folders you have already for Karina, so I can be ready. Yeah, right here. Okay. This is what Karina is going to take to her visa interview, her face-to-face, okay? This packet of stuff right here, this is, and make sure you put a checklist together in the front. This is all her passport information, her police certificates, her passport biographic page, my divorce decree, NOA 1 letter, NOA 2 letter. Let me see what we got right here. Letter of affidavit from my brother. I had him write a letter of affidavit. Letter of intent to get married is going to go in here from me and from Karina. Let's see. Confirmed wedding plans. Okay, right here. Let me show you. Okay. Let me find it for you. Right here. This is our confirmed wedding plans. Emails to the courthouse. Emails to our wedding officiant. Okay. So this is all the paperwork that you're going to give. Your NOA 1 letter, your NOA 2 letter, passports, biographic page, passport, my passport, letters of intent to get married, confirmed wedding plans, photos of us together. Okay. Chat log. Here's a chat. Here's our chats for the 2023. Okay. This is right here. Now, right here, This is the financial stuff. This is the financial stuff. My 2022 tax return, the I-134 Declaration of Financial Support, my Navy retirement letter, proof of income, okay? My pay stubs from my day job, proof of employment with my royalty company. I'm a real estate agent. I sell houses. My realtor wrote a letter saying I work for him as a contractor. My real estate license right here. Okay, my real estate license, that proves to immigration that I'm allowed to sell houses in the state of Florida. I just can't tell them I'm a real estate agent. I got to prove it. Here's my license to do business in Florida, as recognized by the state of Florida. I got my bank statements in here. Let's see. I'm also a land surveyor's assistant. So my friend is the president of a land surveying company. Okay. If he needs to get a house, if he needs to survey a plot of land to build a house on it, he'll call me up and say, hey, Diego, I need your help. I need you to be my assistant for my land surveying job. He wrote a letter saying that's what I do. But it's not full-time work as needed. But I included it in here. So you got two packages. Civil documents, financial documents. And you put them together. And then right here, this one is not included. And this is right here is a package with my 2020 and 2021 tax returns and tax transcripts right here. My 1040s, 2 years worth of 1040s, okay, and my tax transcripts. Is immigration going to ask Karina for my 2020 and 2021 tax returns? Probably not. But is she going to have them with her? Oh, yeah. She's going to have them with her just in case they get asked the question, where's your tax returns for 2020, 2022, etc. Let's see. You got that? CBY05, you make 40,000, you're good. You can sponsor a family of two without a problem. Augusta, all right, Diego, thank you. Sharon, do you know if the embassy in Turkey will allow the sponsor to attend? I don't know, Sharon. The embassies changed the rules. In Manila, Philippines, no. In Turkey, I don't think so. But I can find out. You could find out. You can easily find that out. You can email the embassy. Asmarara LLC, I am waiting for the welcome letter. Been a month now. Takes 3 months, Asmara LLC. Takes about 3 months. And Anthony Guido, is there a better way to get an appointment day? You only get 5 attempts and nothing is available. Got to keep trying, man. Anthony, got to keep trying. Every embassy's different. Jacob, what happens if someone's parents are on the house so we would have any bills? If your parents are on the house, so you live with your mom and dad? Is that? I don't fully understand that. Jorge Rivas Cervello. Hello, Diego. For the interview in Turkey, we'll be allowed to enter with my fiance. I don't know, Jorge. I don't know. I will find out, but it's easy to email him and ask. Mohammed Fowl. Hello, Mohammed. Bintus. Hi, Diego. This is Utsav. Who will schedule the interview, me or my fiance in Nepal? For Nepal, the sponsor can schedule the interview. The beneficiary can schedule the interview. Either one. Either one. Francois, thank you. Jacob, wouldn't have any bills in our name right away. Well, you better get some, Jacob. You need to get when you get married, you need to have your fiance's name on your bills. Water bill, electric bill, gas bill, car payment, if you have one, homeowners association, if you have one. Trust me, get her name on some bills. It's not hard. When Karina gets to Florida, after we get married, she and I are going to jump in our car. I'm going to take her to the driver's license tax place and put her name on the title to the car. Okay. Then I'm going to buy a new title for what? $20. They're going to print a new car title, and it's going to say Diego and Karina on the car title. Karina and or Diego. So if either one of us kick the bucket, then the car's not held up in probate. Then we're going to go to the water company, and I'm going to put her on the water bill. And I'm going to say, please print a copy of her name on the water bill. I'm going to get her a CVS card, a Sam's Club card. I'm going to get her a credit card with her married name on it. She's going to be Mrs. now, she's not going to be single. We're going to go and get her name on everything and include it in the adjustment of status paperwork. Immigration, when they go through our adjustment of status paperwork, her name is going to be on everything. The car, the house, all the bills, all the utility bills. She's going to have I want to make a copy of her credit card. Okay. Now, she may not be able to open up a joint bank account with me because we don't have a social security number yet, but she's going to be payable on death, POD. Okay. So you better get her name on some bills, my friend. Bintus, also, when can I expect my welcome letter? NOA 2 was May 30th. Bintus, 3 months. So first week of September, somewhere in there. Muhammad File, I received my NOA 2 on 3rd of this. They're going to send me anything. In 3 months, you will get your welcome letter. Tina, how long is the DS-160 good for? 30 days. Jacob, I have car and phone only. Get your beneficiary on the phone bill. Get her a cell phone. Okay. Let's see. Get her on the title to your car. I don't have a house of my own. I live in the basement. Well, then you're going to have whoever it is you live with has to write a letter of affidavit saying that you guys are married and live together in that house. They said we can get a credit card when he gets his green card. That's correct. But you can be put on as a authorized user. Okay, before you get the green card, you can be an authorized user on the credit card. I'll put Karina as a secondary authorized user on my credit card. So I'll have my credit card. She'll have her credit card with her name on it, which matches my last name, right? And she's going to be a secondary user. And that will be sufficient until we get her social security number and she can get her own credit generated. But for an authorized user, a secondary user, shouldn't be a problem. Depends on the state where you live too, I guess. Jacob, I already gave him a cell phone on my plan. So it's okay. Perfect. Come on, guys. Throw some more questions at me. This right here is what Karina, my prometida, is going to be bringing to the U.S. Embassy in Bogota, Colombia. 2 years, my last 2 years, 2020, 2021 tax return, financial documents, including the I-134, my 2022 tax return, and then right here are all the civil documents, birth certificates, police certificates, all that jazz. Very easy. Let me see. Is it going to be a problem being I don't have all those bills? No, get what you can. Get him on what you can. Okay? Do the best that you can. It's not an easy process getting a green card. It's just as difficult getting the green card as it is getting the K-1 visa, if not harder. It all depends on how strong of a K-1 of a green card package you put together. Okay, when I submit the green card package for Karina, okay, she is going to be like an embedded Alabama tick in Florida. Her name's going to be on everything and everywhere. Okay, car title, house, cell phone, utility bills. She's going to have her own credit card, Total, everything. I should go over it with you guys at the next live stream on how to do the adjustment of status. Anthony, we are applying for the appointment and the welcome letter is still not received. Does it sound right? Depends on the embassy, Anthony. I don't know which embassy. Tuan Benson, you can put your fiance on a credit card with her passport with American Express. There you go. LK, the embassy sent me an email that I don't need invoice number. The LK, okay. So in your case, like I just read from this lady, in your instance, you can process from the receipt number from your NOA2 letter. Right? Let me see. CBY05, does my fiance have to submit her education papers? Now, Karina, that's a good point. Yes, I would. When I filed for Karina's K1 visa, I got her college degree and her college transcripts, got them translated into English, and then adjudicated them for a U.S. equivalency. And she has a degree in tax accounting as per U.S. equivalency. I put that in the K1 visa package, and I need to also include that with this paperwork too. I forgot. Thank you for the reminder, because that shows immigration that Karina is highly educated and she won't have trouble. She will not have any difficulty finding a job in the United States when she gets her green card, because she's degreed up. So yeah, include it. Anything, it doesn't have to be a college degree. It could be a trade school. You know, she could have a degree in nursing. She could be an attorney. She could have a license to practice law. You know, I'm not an immigration attorney. I'm a real estate agent. So I included my real estate license in my paperwork here for Karina. Tuan, I have a copy of my tax return from TurboTax. Should be sufficient. I don't know. I would research that. Get it certified. Did TurboTax certify it? Did you get a copy of your 1040? Get your tax transcripts too. Jacob, if maybe homes didn't cost $600,000 to $900,000, we would have had Sharon. Oh, thank you, Sharon. Super chat. The first super chat of the night. Sharon Persekian. Thank you, Sharon. You guys don't have to do that, but I appreciate it. And Jacob is talking about the cost of houses. $600,000, $900,000. It's a lot of money for a house. It's a lot of money. But immigration don't care, okay, if you live in a house or if you live in an RV or if you live in a townhouse or an apartment or in a trailer. They don't care. All they care about is that you are domiciled in the United States of America and you are going to put a roof over the head of your beneficiary. That's all they care about. CBY05, my fiance went to university. Yeah, Karina did too. Karina went to university in Caracas, Venezuela, and she got I got all of her college transcripts translated into English. Jacob, I know I've been a pain tonight. Jacob, thank you for that super chat. You're not a pain, man. Jacob, I'm here to help you. I want to get you squared away with your K1 visa so you can get reunited with your loved one. Okay, that's what's important to me. I know what it's like to go through this, and it's not easy. Okay, it's a mental strain, it's an emotional strain, and you get tired, and you get worn down, and you get frustrated, and you get angry, and you get mad. I understand all this. I've been in the exact position you guys are in. And I'm still waiting for my welcome letter. When I did my first K1 visa, I was already done within 9 months. Done. Boom. She was here in America. That was 2016. Now we're in 2023. Things are different. Immigration's different. The process is different. COVID is past. Forget COVID. That doesn't affect the K1 visa anymore. All right. So forget about that. The process is getting faster, but it's still kind of slow because they've implemented extra stuff into the process that they didn't do, which they didn't have when I first applied back in 2016. When I applied for a K1 in 2016, they didn't have 2 checks. Now they do a double check. So it slows down the process. Jacob, well, with all my problems with confusion with the MVC and the embassy, with the MVC saying it's at both locations. I understand, Jacob. We're going to get you through this process. We're going to get your visa. You're qualified for it. You'll get it. Tina, yes, emotional strain and mental. Yes. It's definitely not easy. Let's see. I'm not sure what this person is talking about here, but whatever. It rubs the lotion on the skin or else it gets the hose again. What does that got anything to do with K1 visas? Guys, I don't know. Jacob Myers, I wish they would just square their stuff right. I am right there with you. Remember, they were sending emails. The MVC was sending emails to people saying that the U.S. Embassy in Colombia was closed because of COVID. That was not true. Total baloney. I got an apartment with Karina 20 minutes from the embassy. Karina jumped on a bus, went to the embassy, and said, she knocked on the door. She goes, hey, you guys closed because of COVID? No. She asked, are you processing K1 visas? She called Diana, the consular officer, up, and Diana said, we're processing K1 visas. It was all bogus. So I called Senator Rubio's office up and said, fix that. And the MVC got a nasty letter. I'm sure it was a nasty letter or a corrective action letter from my senator friend. Sorry, that was my wife using my phone. Peace, dude. NI87. No, you're good. I just wondered what it had to do with it with K1 visas. Jacob, I will see what my senator gets from the embassy. A good thing, because I'm done contacting MVC with useless answers. And I don't blame you a bit. Fazak, what is the income requirement for the beneficiary and one child? Okay, 125% is the minimum income to get a green card. So that's what I'm going to talk about. And it's $31,075. You need to make at least $1,000 plus above $31,075. So you want to be making about $33,000 a year, okay, minimum to qualify for a green card for a family of 3. Make a minimum of $33,000, even though it says $31,075. That's the cutoff. You don't want to be at the cutoff. You want to be at least $2,000 above that. Trust me on this, okay? Things are changing for IMCOM. Things are changing. They're making it stricter and stricter and stricter. Let's suppose you make $31,075. You qualify for a family of 3. You send in your green card request, your adjustment of status. You're going to get an RFE. Immigration is going to say, we need a joint sponsor, or we need you to use your assets. They do that right at the cutoff. Pete B, welcome, Pete B. High five. Thanks for that super chat, Pete B. Now listen up, guys. Pete B has been keeping me in Mountain Dew, okay, for months. I got a fridge full of Mountain Dew. And he just got his visa interview scheduled for the Philippines. Am I correct, Pete B? Didn't you just get your visa interview scheduled? You did, right? You did it. Anthony, thank you for all your help. No problem. Sharon, my fiance has a degree in civil engineering from Nigeria. Will that be okay for the United States? Definitely. You will, yeah, get it adjudicated into a U.S. equivalency. But very good. That will help your K1 visa package. Immigration, the embassy will see that, and they're gonna know that he's employable in America. Okay, it's all help. It's everything else. So Sharon, that is good information, and use it. Jacob, I'll keep contact with you on Facebook when we start to figure out what needs to happen. No problem. NI87, my friend, which state would you recommend to visit in the USA? Me and my wife aren't picky. Which state would I recommend? Well, I would not go to Hawaii right now. Things are a little hot in Hawaii right now. Which state? There's 50 states in the union. Do you like hot weather or do you like cold weather? Do you like beaches or do you like mountains? Do you like museums? What do you like to do? Because when you come to the United States, and it says you're not picky. Well, here's what I would say. I would go to New York City in the summer for a vacation, or I would go to Las Vegas in Nevada if you want to see big city lights. I would go to Florida. I would go to Miami, Fort Lauderdale, if you like beaches. But the traffic's pretty rough in Miami. It's pretty rough. California is an interesting place. Los Angeles is a very interesting place. If you like movie stars and if you want to go see movie stars' homes where the famous people live. So it's a big country. If you like to see mountains, Utah is a beautiful place to visit. Mountains. Nevada. Okay, guys, let's see. What do we got here? That's what I would do. Those are the places I would visit. LA, New York, Miami, Fort Lauderdale. Jacob, Diego, if that was true for Pete B, that just hurt a little. Jacob, you're going to get your visa. We just got to unscramble the mess. That there's a mess somewhere that needs to be unscrambled, okay? Your visa is in a state of entropy right now. Okay, if you are a physics guy, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, physics is my thing. Physics and math is my bag. And your visa is in a state of entropy right now. But we're going to fix it. Let's see. Pete B, yeah, October 3rd is when you're going to have your visa interview in Manila. Nikel Moda, Diego, on intent to marry letter, does the date matter when you submit it again if you get an RFE? No, if you get an RFE for a letter of intent to get married, you're going to write another letter of intent to get married, and you're going to put the current date. When you do your second letter of intent to get married for the visa interview, right here, the second letter of intent to get married, right here, you're going to date it 2 weeks or a week before the visa interview at the embassy. And Sharon, thank you. No problem, Sharon. Faith, hey, for the interview time, they say, see the current income since they asked on DS-160 or the past 3 years income affidavit of support. Okay, when you adjust your status for the green card, your affidavit of support, Form I-864, you only have to produce your last tax return, not 3 years, your last one. But you do have to write down how much money you made in the last 3 years. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you adjust your status for a green card, you're going to include your last tax return for 2022, and then you're going to write down what you made in 2021 and 2020. You don't have to produce the tax returns. Okay, so there's lots of immigration attorneys out there saying you got to get your tax returns for your adjustment of status. You only need your last year's. But you do have to write down how much you made for the past 3 years. If your income is right on the line, okay, for the minimum income requirements, get a joint sponsor, okay? Please. You got to make at least, I would say, from looking at other people's experiences, at least $2,000 above the minimum to avoid an RFE for a joint sponsor. So if the minimum income for a family of 3 is $31,074.75, okay, make at least $33,000 a year or get a joint sponsor. Pete B, October 3rd is, I remember. Let's see. Faith. Sharon, no problem, Sharon. NI87, thank you. From Northern Ireland, Belfast. Beautiful Northern Ireland. Our friends in Belfast watching us. Francois, I gotta go. I would love to go there. One day I'm gonna visit Northern Ireland. I want to go visit. Francois Livingston. I've been to Wales and I've been to England, but I've never been to Scotland and I've never been to Northern Ireland. Francois, Diego, is it much of a process to add my future spouse on my mortgage? No, it's easy. You go to the place where who pays your property taxes? Where do you pay your property taxes? It's all included, right? When you pay your house payment, your property taxes are included in that payment. But go to the place where your house is recorded, where the deed is recorded, in your town, in your wherever you live, in your county, or in your district, in your parish, wherever you live, and say, I want to add my new husband to the house. He'll get added as a joint owner. You got to put him on as a joint owner, okay? And then you can print the new property tax statement with his name on it, and you're going to show that you guys live together at this house. It's easy to do. When Karina gets to the United States, we'll get married on the beach in Navarre with Captain Bill, okay? And then I'm going to run her over to the property appraiser's office with the marriage certificate and put her on the house. And then her name will be added to the property tax roll. So then when I type my address into the property appraiser's website, my name and her name will pop up. And then I'm going to print that and put it in my adjustment of status paperwork. Boom. That's evidence that she lives here. It's easy to do, Francois. Pete B, we didn't get the welcome letter from the NVC or in transit. The Manila Embassy contacted by email. You already had the ready status. We filled out the DS-160, scheduled the interview. There you go. And you could have used your receipt number in place of your invoice number, unless you already had your invoice number. This process is pretty fluid and keeps changing, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. It's a fluid process. I don't even think immigration know what they're doing. I really don't. But we're getting through it, right? Tina, I'm sorry, Diego, to ask again. Don't ever apologize. Is it just safe to complete a new DS-160? Do it. Fill out a new one. Yes, yes, yes. Pete, keep the faith, Jacob. Dekila, my case is ready from a week, but I didn't get a welcome letter from Mumbai. What should I do? Use your case number and use your receipt number and see if you can create a case number through the SEAC system and process your visa that way. See if you can do that. Jacob, thanks, Pete B. They are just messing with me. NI-87, just be prepared for rain. It can't, NI-87, it can't, Northern Ireland 87. It can't be any worse than Bogota, Colombia. The weather in Bogota sucks. Now I remember, I went on vacation to England in 1996 for 30 days. I went for 30 days vacation. It rained every day. And when I was flying into London Heathrow from Malta, I've been in Malta for vacation. I was flying to London, and I looked at how green everything was. I said, "Look how green everything is." Now I know why. It rains all the time. You know, you got to have an umbrella. What do you call it? A brolly? You got to have it with you. Let's see. Just be prepared for the rain. You got it, Northern Ireland. Jacob, keep the faith. Pete B, seems to be what's going on with my case. We got to get Jacob's visa done, right, guys? We got to get Jacob taken care of. Jacob, no welcome, no in transit, but case number and invoice. Here's what I would do, Jacob. Go into the SEAC account and see if you can start scheduling stuff in Manila. Use your receipt number. Use the receipt number from your NOA2 letter and see if you can schedule a visa interview in Manila and pay the visa fee. Give it a shot and let us know on the next live stream. Deki La, anybody know how to create an account? Please let me know. You should have a welcome letter which gives you the explanation, or you should get an email from the NVC telling you how to do that. Sharon, my son would buy a gun and shoot me dead if I put my fiance's name on my house. Well, Sharon, I can understand that you could put together a prenuptial agreement to protect your house. Put together a prenup. Do something like that. Jacob Myers, do you need a DS-160 to do that? Or can I just look? If you have, Jacob, if you got your receipt number from your NOA 2 letter and you got a case number, sounds like you got a transit, it sounds like you got an invoice number, you should be able to go into the SEAC account and schedule your visa interview. Okay, guys, I've been talking for 1 hour and 40 minutes. I hope you guys had fun. It was glad to hear from folks from Northern Ireland and from India and from Nigeria and from New York. Everybody, thank you for the super chats, guys. That is really appreciated. Pete B, congratulations on getting your visa approved. Please help Jacob. And I'll be back. Today's Saturday. I'm going to start throwing in some live streams during the week, I think, because I'm getting lots of people that need lots of help. The YouTube channel has grown pretty much exponentially. It's grown pretty big, and I'm getting lots of questions that I need to be able to answer. So I might just start throwing in some live stream surprise chats during the week. But normally it's going to be Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays at 7 p.m. Those days will continue. But I might throw in a few extra during the week just to help you guys. Okay, thanks, guys. See you all on Monday. Jacob, message me on Facebook. See you guys next Monday, this Monday at 7 p.m.